Welcome to our morning meeting. Respect to current time of 9:47 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum trade $3,114, up about 0.35% so far. As you can see, with respect to overall crypto market, it's relatively traded on a sideways fashion, levitating in between levels, approximating below the $3,150 for Ethereum, which we know is a level of major resistance or a support if we get up above that level and sustain around there, right? And with respect to this morning, typically Saturdays are not the most active days on a media front. The media application becomes to be a little bit more, how would you say, influential. A Sunday begins around 4:30 to 5 p.m. on the Eastern Time. So I guess typically today will be more of just a flat day today. So nothing really major for us to report on the media front. So let's just dive into the technicals. Again, with respect to recording time of 9:50 a.m. on the Eastern Time, we are below by about 35-40 bucks on the next level of resistance. It seems like we are trying to form some sort of continuation on the momentum. But remember, we have been selling off for quite some time, and you can see this red line here. We've been sliding off the cliff ever since on November, and we've just been rotating outward for quite some time, with cultivation of multiple macro catalysts, been keeping tabs, right? The Russian-Ukraine war, the anticipatory pressure of the FOMC meeting on the interest hikes, which we have identified that's going to be 6 interest hikes going forward, that allocates onto each basically by monthly perspective going forward, or each FOMC meetings going forward. And with respect to the Omicron and COVID type of affectation that's still kind of lingering on a sideways fashion, that we still don't know. But seems like some of the cases, specifically the US, it is kind of taking over. And also with respect to China, overseas as well, we are seeing some sort of a breakout happening. Also, in addition to that, there's still some more complexity around the tension geopolitically, right? There are some foreshadow around, respective countries that are, more prominent, characters for, a potential breakout of the Cold War, or some speculation saying that the Cold War has already begun. Or potential breakup to World War III. So a lot of just mixture of emotions for that we've been trying to bake in for the last couple of months so far. So the reversal that we're seeing right now, beside obviously getting over some of the hump, also getting the clarity into the market, is also an overreaction of the overreaction that we've been having so far across the market, right? So something to think about on a macro perspective. But in a technical perspective, right now we're very overbought. 65 out of 70. We have already curved up for quite some time now, right? So a lot of people have been asking, is it a good time to take some, short-term profit? I would say yes, it was a very smart move to do so because of the fact that, do you think we can actually keep stretching up when we are already overbought and we need to kind of cool down, right? So the next level cool down will be obviously first level, 3,050, right? But do you think that will be sufficient for us to deplete to a lower level? I don't think so. I think we need to go down to below 3,050 to maybe test 2,853 to 2,621, which are levels that are, important for us to retest the technical bottom in the near term and then recuperate from that, right? And then respect to Bitcoin, this is forming a cup and handle, right? You can see that a cup is formed, but we need to form a secondary handle. So coming back down, and this is a major resistance level, right? Based on what we've seen so far. Every single time we got here, we kind of break it, right? So if we can actually have a shot of continuing this momentum, you could see that how many times we're basically form a like a great wall, if you may, right? Ever since the January of this year all the way till now, every single time we got there, we canceled out. So do you think we can actually have a shot of continuing? I'll give that probably like a 5% chance that we could do so. I think we need to retest, firstly because we're 62 out of 70, so really overbought. Secondly, we're already seeing some signs of curvature on the MACD front that's crossing down already. And at the same time, the Bollinger Band is already showing that the max we could get to is 45, like exactly 45,000. So I would say the odds are extremely slim for us to keep going. Let's say 48,000. That'd be just, not the most logical move in the near term. So coming back down to 40 would be very logical. Coming down to 37, 500 even will be very logical. Dogecoin up about 1.5%. We are 57 out of 70, so 60 out of 70 technically. Very overstretched on the MACD front, so I would not touch this until 1150 all the way to below. Cardano is up about 3% so far. This looks like kind of like a bull flag, but the bull flag will allow for maybe a squeeze tighter and tighter and tighter. Let's say coming back down to ideal like 102 and then pump up to back up to 120. But then you're gonna give up quickly because we are very overbought at 70 out of 70 right now. At the same time, the AVAX seems to be formed already, so be careful with this one. Solana is up down about 3.25%. I would not touch this until 85 to 75 from here with the 60 out of 70. XRP is down about 2%. 69 to 57 would be where I would be buying at based on the current setup. I like 62 all the way to 57, and I'm just being meticulous. Polkadot's down about 1.47%. 17 all the way to 1406 would be logical to be dollar cost averaging at. Algorand's down about 1.5%. It seems like we are hitting a major resistance level of 90, which is where we were before. With 64 out of 70, very overbought. We're kind of crossing down now, so I would not touch this until 72 and then all the way to 67. Shiba Inu, again, low 2000s, right? 2100, 1400 to 900 with the relatively upper echelon of it right now. So we are already relatively high on the apex, and at the same time 53 out of 70, so it's okay, but I would not buy in right now. It's relatively dead in the water in terms of Shiba. And respect to MACTAX, above 0.5%, 143 to 120 would be where I would be buying at. I would not really touch this at the moment at 60 out of 70. AVAX about 2%. I like anywhere from 60 all to 50 from here. Right now, it's not the best level. And you can see that the Bollinger Bands don't even see a big major reach up from here either. Makes sense because we're relatively overbought right now, right? So we are showing signs of curvature. So yeah, we're going to break the 80 as the first level, but I would not touch this until like coming down to all the way to 65 at bare minimum. Luna. Luna is gonna, it will have a weird affectation. It's like you could see that you are already bearish because people are giving up on the top. Makes sense. But we need to kind of cross up, right? Because we're at the bottom of the trend right now. So you need to cross up on the MACD, form a golden cross, and have a mini surge coming back up to 110 possibly, which is a flat number based on the Bollinger Bands. And then you need to cross down to deplete the RSI back to normal. So that's what I see, like kind of cross up and then cross down. And what you see that is basically you see a head and shoulder pattern clearly, right? But you need to kind of confirm the secondary shoulder, right? So by doing so, you need to go up and then go down from here, right? So it's a relatively chill day today, but we know the foreshadow and the momentum overall. The overall market is still relatively overbought, too fast, too quick, with some lingering factor. So very media driven, I would say, based on the appetites that we're seeing across the market. So have a good Saturday. Let me know if you have any questions, and take care. Bye.